on a momentous occasion, I'd like to thank the press for being here, and I'd like to thank the governor for being here. And this is a really historic occasion. Just yesterday, the Republican Party in South Carolina, the citizens of South Carolina, won a landmark victory over the Obama administration on voter ID.
Amen.
The Obama administration has repeatedly stomped on our states' rights. He tried to prevent jobs at Boeing, and he tried to prevent the enforcement of immigration laws, all issues that Governor Haley has championed. The Democrat in this Senate race, Thomas McElveen, is no different. He's gone as far as attacking the governor publicly yesterday for her fight for bold reforms in state ethics. Thomas McElveen has made it clear he stands with President Obama to stomp on people's rights, killing jobs, and blocking these ethics reforms. But Governor Haley is leading the fight to fight for the state's rights, growing jobs and ending corruption, and fixing the education in our state. And with that, I would like to introduce our Governor, Nikki Haley.
Sumter. It seems like every time I come to Sumter, we are celebrating something. We are celebrating jobs, 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 and we're going to continue to do that. But the reason it was so important for me to be here today is you have a decision to make on November 6th. I need someone that's going to have my back. When we have the National Labor Relations Board suing Boeing, I need to have somebody in the State House that's going to have my back, that when I say we're going to fight for those 1,000 employees that are now 6,000 employees, we're going to beat the unions, I need to know that somebody's going to be there, and Tony Barwick is that person, and he will be there. When we're fighting health care and we're saying we don't want health care mandated on our people, and we're going to fight it every step of the way, I need a friend, and Tony Barwick is going to be there for me. We are looking for the fact that we are trying to sell South Carolina across this country and talk about jobs. One of the things that we have to talk about is our workplace, our workforce. What we have had to do is retrain our workforce for these new jobs coming in. We build planes, we build cars. We are now the #1 tire producing state in the country. Came to me and talked about was something that's near and dear to me. He is going to lead the cause on not the fact that we need to change higher ed, which is what we're going to work on, not the fact that we need to talk about our graduation rates, which is what we're going to work on, but he is for vocational schools and wanting to increase the education for the people of this state. Tony Barwick's going to lead the charge on that. Looking for somebody that understands it's about jobs, but understands it's about education and jobs, we have found our man. And I will tell you this, the reason I identify with Tony so much is because he grew up at a young age in small business. He knows what it's like to work. He is a business person himself. He knows what it's like to sign the front of a paycheck. He understands that we need ethics reform in this state, and we need it now, and he's going to have my back as we go forward to do it. He's not going to be a status quo legislator. He's not going to be one that goes after what the legislative leadership tells him to do. He's going to be one that remembers that he works for the people and not the other way around, and that's hugely important in Columbia right now. I will tell you this about Tony Barwick. I need as many friends as I can have in the Senate. You know what I don't need any more of? Trial lawyers. No more trial lawyers in the state of South Carolina. We have trial lawyers pushing the unions. We have trial lawyers stopping business. We have trial lawyers killing our business communities. We had trial lawyers stopping jobs in the state of South Carolina, and we had trial lawyers that run for office to help their business. I don't need another trial lawyer in the State House. What I need is another Tony Barwick in the State House on November 6th. Let's get it done. God bless you. Thank you very much.
I want to thank the governor, and with quite honor, I accept her endorsement here today. And folks, we're here to deliver for the people of South Carolina, and we can't do it without the right governor. Let's thank her again.
Yeah.
I want to speak about the governor for just a second. What struck me about the governor, and I think was when as I knocked on doors, we knocked on 3,500 doors in our primary, we're over 2,000 a day, is the people have said that they want what the governor's selling. They want what the governor's selling because what she's selling is the people of South Carolina. She's in business for the people of this state. And folks, that's what we all have to be. Our number one job is to represent each and every one of you. And our governor has done an outstanding job of that by getting them jobs. That is the critical thing. She has delivered more jobs to the state of South Carolina than any governor in her realm of 2 years that's ever been done in our history. Y'all, we have a history maker. We have a star in the governor of South Carolina, Nikki Haley. I don't think she's done, and I'm not either. Now, let me tell you why I'm running for office. I sat down a while back and thought we had to find somebody to run against Phil Leventis. Phil Leventis was the most liberal senator sitting in the legislature. When you looked at his business and industry scores, it would hurt your feelings. And as a guy in the business community with 70 employees, we butted heads every now and then. I respect him personally, but when it came to political issues, he did not represent the business people of this district. And so I felt like we needed to find someone. When I went out knocking on doors and trying to find someone, a fella called me a hypocrite. Hurt my feelings. I'm from Pinewood, South Carolina. We don't take to that very well. But you know what? We know the truth when we hear it. We know the truth when we hear it. I've never run for political office. That's no secret.
That's a good thing.
That's no secret, but what I learned was that the business folks of our state have to step back into the political realm, and we hadn't been doing it. And let me tell you today, I was a hypocrite, but no more. No more. My life's ambition now is to go on a different job, and that's to go to work for you. I'm willing to put all that behind me. But I cannot do it without your votes on November 6th. And we've got to spread the word. I need when you leave here today, take a yard sign with you, pick up a bumper sticker, and spread the word that there's change coming in District 35. There's change coming. We have not had a Republican sitting in this seat since the 1800s. That is a shame. And let me tell you, Sumter's paid the price, but no longer. We're a rising star. All right, we've got a governor that's a rising star. Now Sumter has a chance to be that rising star. We have a chance to be relevant again. Kershaw, Lee, Sumter, Richland have a chance to be relevant. And that will be my goal from day one. I will work tirelessly to get to that point. Now let me talk to you about two things that are near and dear to my heart, and the governor led into them. Listen, our number one role as a public servant is to help. That's our role, is to help. We need to provide a fair, level system, and we've got to have some things to have that. Ethics reform is going to be one of the top priorities when we come back in January. Now, let me tell you, there's some things we've got to do. Number one is we have got to have an independent agency, and I want to go further instead of just looking over our Senate and looking over our House, but they need to look over all of our elected officials. Now, I think the place to do that's the State Ethics Commission. But eventually, I would like to submit an independent agency separated from government. Amen. And they need to watch us. And let me tell you what I found out. I run a business. I found out when someone knows you're watching them, and when someone knows you're checking the numbers and making sure the I's are dotted, they'll do it right. And folks, we just hadn't always done it right in the state of South Carolina, and that's why ethics reform is so important. Folks, I believe it's okay if a lawyer wants to run for Senate. I think it's okay if a lawyer wants to serve in the House. I don't have a problem with that, but here's where I have a problem. When these lawyers are serving in the House and Senate, they're voting for every judge. They're voting for every workman's comp commissioner, every insurance commissioner, and then they go practice law in front of them and make $500,000. If you want to see the numbers, go look at some of your senators' numbers who practice workman's comp laws. Folks, that is crazy. That is crazy that we have a system where the very people who hired the Workman's Comp Commission, hired the judges, practice law in front of them. I don't think if you want to be a senator and you want to be a member of the House of Representatives, you need to serve the people and you need to leave your self-interest at home, or don't go. The governor's ideas on ethics reform are dead on. All right, let's talk about jobs. What is our number one issue in Sumter County? Our unemployment rate, they'll tell you it's 10%, but really the number of people unemployed. I don't care how many people are applying for unemployment benefits. We need to put the people back to work that can't get unemployment benefits anymore. Here's how we do it. We follow the course we've taken in Sumter, and we expand upon it. Get government out of the way. We put private groups to work in Sumter Smart Growth Initiative. In Sumter Smart Growth Initiative, we had people with a vision and a plan to bring economic development here. Folks, Sumter County is on fire. And it wasn't government who did it. It was private groups that came together and said, we can do it better. They've proven it. That model works. We can do it in industry and business better than government can do it. Amen. The proof is in the pudding. Go out there and look at that tower coming out the ground at Continental Tire if you don't believe it. Okay, I want to talk about education. This is the near and dear part of me. I'm the first person in my family to ever go to college. Thankfully, there's been others since me. I had a grandmother who said, and I always thought I was going to be a plumber. I'll tell you the truth. I thought I would be a plumber, and maybe I should have been. Plumbers are doing very well. But my grandmother came to me when I was into my 10th grade year and said, Tony, I want you to be the first person in our family to go to college. You know, let me tell you, my grandmother, she worked at Campbell Soup, stood on the line all day, every day, until her knees wore out. And then she made her living sewing in a little room in her house. That's what she did. She was an excellent seamstress. She could do anything. Incredible woman, and she's really my hero. My grandmother was my hero. And when your hero tells you you're going to college, you're going to go to college. And let me tell you what I did to go to college. I didn't have any money. We didn't have any money. We were simple people. We lived out of a garden. We worked hard every day. We were America. And what I was told is, Tony, if you want to go to college, you can go and do anything you want. And folks, I made it my goal from that point on that I was going to go to college. The government didn't send me to college. The government didn't send me to college. My dreams and aspirations sent me to college. And I was very successful because of it. The job I have today at Palmetto Pigeon Plant is because I chose to get a degree in poultry science. You won't hear that one every day. But I wanted to be on a farm. I wanted to work outdoors. It was my dream. And those dreams came true because of public education and our public higher education system and hard work. I worked 3 jobs the whole time I was in college. I shoveled out pigeon pens, chicken pens, whatever they let me shovel out. I tutored in the evenings. I called softball games. I called basketball games. I worked and worked and worked. Let me tell you, the dream in America is still alive. It is still alive. And this is what I want to leave here and tell you. If you will get your education, and everyone doesn't have the same educational aspirations as I did. If your aspiration is to be a welder, Thompson Industrial will hire you and pay you $18 to $20 an hour. They'll hire you. If your dream is to be the greatest brick mason and build brick fences, you can make a great living. If your dream is to go to Clemson University, as I did, or go to the University of South Carolina, as I also did, I went to both, those goals are there for you, but they're not going to give it to you. America, the pursuit of happiness is what defines our country. You've got to pursue your dreams. Now, I'm going to do something a little different. I want to help you pursue your dreams. I want you to have the pursuit of happiness as your number one goal. And I want to do everything in my power to pave the way for you to do it. Because someone did it for me, my grandmother. Someone did it for me. And I love the woman, and to this day, I owe everything I have to her. But I can do that for you, and let me tell you, you can do that for someone else. I'm just one guy. The job that's before us is to eat an elephant. I can't eat him by myself, and I can't eat him in one day. But if you will go and vote on November 6th, we can start on the elephant together. Yeah. Will you give me your vote? Will you give me that honor of serving you? And if you do, I will work and work and work until the job is done, or until you tell me to go home because I didn't do what I promised you. Either one I can live with. November 6th is right around the corner. We need your support. Folks, we have an opponent. He's going to tell you that he's one of you. But we've seen that game. We've seen that game. He's elected President of the United States now. Let me tell you, there's two things that I want to see. I want to see Tony Barwick elected your next senator, and I want to see conservative leadership back in our country like we have in our state house. And we would not have that if it wasn't for the good people of South Carolina. We're in a great state. Listen, it's a great day in South Carolina. It's a great day in Sumter. It's a great day in District 35. We're going to win this seat, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you for being here, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming, and we do have some refreshment inside. And you're welcome to enjoy. Thank you.
Sharon.
I did the same thing.
That's how we all do it.